All right, the stage is set for the Africa Cup of Nations final in Rabat, and what a matchup we have. It's the defending champion Senegal going up against the host nation Morocco. But here's the thing, this isn't your typical clash of titans. No, this is a clash of flawed titans. Both of these teams, these absolute giants of African football, are walking into the biggest game of the year with a massive, glaring weakness.
So, if you're expecting some kind of high-scoring, beautiful game of football, well, you might want to scrap that idea. This final isn't going to be won by some moment of sheer brilliance. It's all about endurance. It's shaping up to be a brutal tactical grind. The team that lifts this trophy, it's not going to be the most skillful one. It's going to be the one that can hide its flaws the best and simply outlast the other guy.
Okay, so first up, a final in Rabat. Let's really set the scene for what's about to go down in Morocco's capital. I mean, look at this showdown. On one side, you've got Senegal, the reigning kings of Africa. They're here to defend their crown. And on the other, the host nation Morocco, with an entire country roaring them on, absolutely desperate to win this thing on home soil. You couldn't write it better. It's legacy versus destiny, right in front of our eyes. And this quote really just nails the whole vibe of this match. It's defined more by tactical discipline and tired legs than high-scoring fireworks. Think about it, right? This is going to be a chess match, not a wild shootout. And why is that? Well, when you have one team that's completely gassed and another with a giant hole in its defense, what happens? Both teams get cautious. They play it safe. It becomes a game where one tiny mistake, just one, could be the end of it all.
Which, of course, brings us to the real heart of the story here. This tale of two flaws. Each of these giants has an Achilles heel. Let's start with Senegal. For the defending champs, this is nothing short of a defensive catastrophe. I mean, they have been an absolute fortress this entire tournament. But now, right before the final, the absolute worst possible time, the heart of their defense has been completely ripped out. Their captain, their leader, Kalidou Koulibaly, is injured, and his main partner, Habib Diarra, is suspended. That's not just a hole. It's a massive void of leadership and communication right where you need it most. And what about Morocco? Well, their problem is purely physical. They are just spent, completely exhausted. To even get here, they had to go through an absolute war, a grueling 120-minute marathon of a semifinal against Nigeria that went all the way to penalties. Sure, the adrenaline's going to be pumping, but you have to ask, how much is really left in the tank for another 90-plus minutes of intense football? So you've got these two big flaws on either side. That means this whole final is probably going to come down to just a few key things. So let's talk about the three game-changing factors that could tip the scales one way or the other. Okay, first up, you can bet your life that Morocco's main man, Brahim Diaz, is going to be targeting that makeshift Senegalese defense all night long. Second, there's the 12th man, that massive home crowd. And third, believe it or not, even the weather is playing a part, and it could shut down Senegal's biggest threat. And when we say massive home advantage, we are not kidding. We're talking 70,000 fans. Just think about that number. That's not just some background noise, you know? That is a psychological weapon. It's the kind of roar that can give you an extra bit of energy when your legs feel like lead. And at the same time, it puts crushing pressure on every single touch, every pass, every shot the other team takes. And then, yeah, the rain factor. It sounds like a small detail, but tactically, it's a huge deal. A wet, slick pitch makes it so much harder for a player like Sadio Mane to do what he does best. That explosive speed, those quick dribbles, it just bogs him down. But for Morocco's big physical defenders like Aguerd and Messina, a slow, heavy pitch where it's more of a physical battle, that's exactly what they want. So the rain could literally wash away Senegal's biggest weapon. All right, so let's get down to it. Now for the data-driven prediction. We've got the flaws, we've got the key factors. So what does the data and all the analysis actually point to? What's going to happen? So where does the smart money lie? Well, based on everything we're seeing, the analysis is pointing pretty clearly to a tense, low-scoring game, with one team having a very clear edge. And here's the first big one. And the confidence on this is sky high, 91%. That's the confidence level that we're looking at under 2.5 goals in this game. So what does that mean? It means we're probably looking at a 1-0 win, maybe 2-0, or even a 0-0 that goes all the way to penalties. A goal fest? Yeah, that's almost off the table. And the reasoning here is just rock solid. First, history backs it up. 8 of the last 10 AFCON finals have been super low scoring. Then you add Morocco's exhaustion, which is going to force them to sit back and defend, and top it all off with the rainy weather slowing everything down. And what do you get? It's the perfect recipe for a tight, tense, don't blink or you'll miss it kind of final.
Now, let's talk about who's actually going to lift the trophy. The confidence here is also really, really high. You take Senegal's defensive crisis, you add in Morocco's insane home advantage, and then you throw in weather that perfectly suits their style, and it all points one way. There's an 84% confidence rating that the host nation, Morocco, is going to be celebrating at the end of all this.
But all this analysis, it boils down to one single decisive moment: the first goal. Seriously, if you watch for one thing in this game, watch who scores first, because that changes everything. We're calling this the wall factor, because if Morocco, with their tired legs, somehow manages to get that first goal, their entire approach is gonna flip like a switch.
Think about it. They're exhausted. They are not going to be interested in chasing a second or a third goal. No way. If Morocco scores first, the game is likely over. They will absolutely park the bus. That means pulling everyone back, building a defensive wall in front of their goal, and basically daring Senegal to even try and break them down. And with the rain slowing down Senegal's attack, that might just be an impossible task.
And so, that leaves us with the one big, juicy question heading into this final. We know exactly what Morocco will do if they score first. But does Senegal's attack, led by Sadio Mane, have enough in the tank to smash through that wall? On a wet pitch, with 70,000 people screaming at them? That right there, that is the question that's going to decide the next champion of Africa.